left. Morning, Internet. It's Labor Day here in the United States, and for some reason we celebrate Labor Day in September here. If you don't know why we celebrate it here in September and everybody else around the world celebrates it in May, well, you can look that up. Morning. I'm testing out a new recording system here on the bike. Right now I'm holding my camera, which of course is never a good idea. This is how I wrecked my Sony video camera. It just fell off out of my pocket, right onto some gravel, right onto the lens. The lens was smashed, and these cameras are not really, well, they're not really repairable to any extent, so hopefully I won't be dropping this one. This is the GoPro. This is the one I filmed practically all of my videos on now, so hopefully it'll turn out good. Right now I'm riding on what I think is called Enterprise Drive. For as long as I've lived here, you'd think I would know the name of this road, but I don't. Maybe when I get back to the studio and make this video, I can look it up and I'll stick it in the bottom of the screen. This part of the ride is slightly downhill. It's like maybe I think it's about 3% gradient. So right now I'm heading downhill. I'm always envious of people that make videos on their bicycles because they make it look so easy. It's really not easy though, because when you think about it, doing a video of yourself doing something requires a lot of stopping and starting and more equipment than you probably like to carry around with you. For example, the way this camera is attached to the bike right now, it's perfect as long as the bike's not moving. Once you start riding though, and you hit a bump or something like that in the road, then somehow the camera shifts. And I'm not talking about shaking, it actually shifts. It ends up pointing either up at the sky or down at the tire. So you gotta keep your eye on it. So I hope you appreciate the massive amount of effort that goes into making these videos. Not all of them are just me walking around saying whatever flies into my head. This is Fallbrook Street in Carbondale. If you follow this road all the way up the hill, it will eventually take you out of town to a small village called Finch Hill. I'm not going that far. Just going up to Hospital Street. I'm going to take a left and ride over to the Carbondale High School. This is the route I normally ride. It's about 10 kms, and if the weather's nice, I usually do it twice. Altogether, if I do it twice, it's about 100 meters of climbing. And otherwise, it's just a nice, enjoyable ride like it is today. This road is called Apple Lane, I think. It's right next to the Sierra Leo field. It's not a very good surface. If you're riding on it, you're constantly dodging potholes. But it's also very short. This clicking you hear, that's me shifting the gears. So if you hear that in the videos and you're wondering what all that clicking is, that's what it is. I think I told you once before in another video that this bike that I'm riding is my niece's. She bought it, or my sister bought it for her when she was 11 years old. That was sometime during the 1990s. So this is an old bike, but it's built like a tank. So it still works fine. The gears are good, the brakes are good. The only thing you have to do with the brakes is occasionally change the pads because they will wear down. The wheels are still good. I did have 2 spokes replaced on the back wheel a couple of years ago. And I've always toyed with the idea of buying another bike, but I'm not really in Carbondale long enough each year to justify the expense. So as long as this bike works, this is the bike I use. I only use it for fitness, so I don't need a fancy, expensive bike. And if you've ever looked at bicycle prices lately, the shortage is over, but the high cost is still part of the biking experience. You don't like to be weaving around potholes on a commercial road, because if cars see you doing that, they don't really know what you're going to do next. Now we're on the campus of the Carbondale area schools. The first building we're going to see is the high school. Morning. building that we're going around now is the elementary school. In fact, we're behind the elementary school. Like I said, this is a holiday, so there's nobody here. Well, the recording of yesterday's ride was cut short because I made the biggest mistake a GoPro user could ever make, and that is going out without a spare GoPro battery. Or maybe I should say without 5 or 6 spare GoPro batteries. Yesterday was Labor Day. Today's the next day. It's Tuesday. I'm getting started a little bit earlier than normal. I think it's about 8:30. And it's not quite as sunny yet as it was yesterday. Yesterday was just a beautiful day for a bike ride. But I wanted to make this video before I started my Asian tour, because I just don't have enough videos from Carbondale. So this is probably the final edition of the Carbondale Dispatch until late December. Morning. So this is part 2 of my Labor Day ride. Today we're going to be heading up on the west side of Carbondale. This is Dundas Street, I think. We're going to ride this up the hill until we get to 43rd Street. Some of you may recall that this is also the bottom of the hill that leads to the top of Dundas Mountain, which is 4.5 kms with a gain of 250 meters. We're not going anywhere near that far today on this road. We have an 8% grade right here. And this is 43rd Street. Or maybe 42nd Street. I don't know. And right here at the end of 43rd Street is Fallbrook Street, or I think it's also called Route 106. This is the road that will take you out of Carbondale up to Finch Hill. We're not going out of town, we're going back into town. So we're going to be riding down Fallbrook Street. And I'm going to stop at the new apartment complex, which is called Fallbrook Apartments, I think. Here it is right here. These are the newest apartments built in Carbondale. This used to be where Carbondale had a hospital many years ago. Morning. I like descents, but I don't go very fast when I do a descent. I don't trust this bike. It's old. The frame is, well, let's just say the frame is old. So I'm not going to be zooming down Fallbrook Street. I'm going to take it easy, as I always do with the brakes and just being careful. I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I will be turning onto Hospital Street, which is a right-hand turn, and then go back over to the Carbondale Area High School, like I did yesterday. All right, here we go. Well, it looks like it's trash pickup day here at Fallbrook Street. We're going to take it easy to make our way around this truck. And here's our turn coming up on Hospital Street. I'm going to be cutting my ride short today because this is the day before I begin my Asian tour. There's a lot of household chores I have to do. Unfortunately, a lot of gardening chores I have to do. And then I have to pack. So I don't have time to be rolling around on a bicycle, smiling my head off. I have to get back to International Big Shot HQ and do something useful. So these last few clips are going to be just some riding through Carbondale. Right now we're on 7th Avenue. We're going to cross the Lackawanna River in a minute. Normally I would take a left here and go up Church Street. And I think I did that yesterday. But today I'm going to go straight and take a left on some other street. So I don't think I've ever filmed or recorded any clips on these side streets. Ah, here's one right here. Wyoming Street. Morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, and you? Well, that ride pretty much brings to an end my cycling season for 2023. Tomorrow I'm heading to Southeast Asia, and when I get back, the roads will probably be covered with snow, maybe ice. And besides, it's going to be cold anyway, and I don't have any wintertime clothing to be riding around on a bicycle. So that's about it for cycling in Carbondale in the summer of 2023. Be sure to subscribe, and be seeing you